Faroon freestyle.
No.
He is a master freestyler.
WYNONNA Earp. Cursed since a goddamn birth. Step out of purgatory, yeah, it's a goddamn turf. She about to punch you in the face, this a goddamn hurt. Making a piece just to prove a goddamn word.
You have to blaspheme the whole time. You have to blaspheme. I told you.
And this is not an attack.
No, it's worse. It's a goddamn intervention.
That was a moment of two people really caring about her and wanting to make sure that she is looking after herself. Not only is it really important for the show, but I think it's really important for the characters. At that point in the storyline, I think Waverly is entering into a new part of her life. This season has been really smooth sailing in many ways for Waverly and Nicole in some respects. And they are entering into a very supported and comfortable place in their life. But naturally what happens with that is that WYNONNA ends up being more on her own in that. And I think that we see the repercussions of that, of her lone wolf tendencies really coming out, and that manifests itself in drinking and in not looking after herself.
On our show, we have laughed at drinking and made light, like the drinking specifically, but like the recklessness or this sort of like laissez-faire, you know, like, I'll figure it out later, I'm a mess anyway. And as much fun as we've had with that, I think it was very important for us as a show to acknowledge the dark side of that and the damage that can cause and the importance of not living there. And I'm really hoping that that episode will open up just good conversations around, like you said, self-care and support systems and things like that.
And action.
WYNONNA's grown up in this town and she's had to deal with some messed up things growing up. And Rachel has also gone through a lot of things. She had a pretty messed up childhood, and I think she sees WYNONNA, well, she obviously idolizes WYNONNA, and she sees her as someone who had to go through so much but has grown up to be a hero, and she just wants to, I just want to be like you, man.
Don't blame you.
Yeah.
WYNONNA, however.
You're my family.
No, I'm not. Rachel's probably at that age where she's like, I want to grow up, and then WYNONNA's like, no, you don't, you know? And I think it's a balance between being like realistic. And I love that Rachel's like, you never treated me as a kid. You're the only one who doesn't treat me like a kid. Mm-hmm. And which I love, but also I think WYNONNA's like, yeah, but I also don't want to corrupt you like irreparably, because I know what the other side of that looks like. Mm-hmm. So I think it's trying to convince a teenager. She went into the basement. We told her not to go in the basement. She's going in the basement. So I think WYNONNA obviously has been there too and knows that like whatever she says isn't really gonna, she'll try, but at the end of the day, Rachel's gonna do what Rachel's gonna do.
Rachel gonna do what Rachel gonna do.
Exactly.
Let's try that again, guys. And action.
Keep hoping that will have answers. WYNONNA's part of my story. Big part. I think Waverly trusts Doc with a lot of things. You know, despite the history and everything, like, Doc's the man. He's very loyal. Would you agree with that?
100%.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'll give him.
Yeah, he's very loyal, and when, if Waverly says to Doc, like, I need this from you, I think, especially because of all the history, he will take that very much to heart and will make sure that he delivers.
I agree. I think he wouldn't even show the book to WYNONNA. I don't think there's, and I think she knows that. In that sense.
And also they went through it together in the garden. You know, that brings two people closer together. Like they were in there for the majority of the time, just the two of them. So especially when it comes to something from the garden, I think it's the natural choice.
Why do you have WYNONNA's gun?
It's a long story.
Never mind that, right?
Nice. And cut.
She knows that Jeremy's close to finding something for the fog, but he's not quite there. Doc has the strength, but the person who can really help find Waverly and get rid of the Reapers, it's Cleo.
Say what?
Excuse me?
Like, Cleo's who she needs, and so I think it's like a definite Sophie's choice. But you know, I think she has a plan, and that's the thing about Wynonna, is that she's not great at thinking things through, but her instincts are always quick and sharp, and she's pretty good at trusting them.
I think that kind of sounded like Nicole's apology for selling out Doc this season. You left us to die.
I said I'll be back.
We were
Remember,
so scared.
I was like, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. I'll be right back.
But you really, we were scared.
Wynonna, they're gonna turn us into food!
Wynonna, do not do this!
That's mine.
This is Wynonna's. Revisiting the Jolene stuff, it was completely bonkers, as always, in that partnership. When we see those two characters come together, it was an amazing couple of days. Zoe Palmer is an incredible, incredible actress, and it's always such a joy and a journey to work with her. The funny thing is that we just kept turning to each other during the day being like, this is mad.
Are you punishing Wynonna because she was chosen and you weren't?
How did you guys feel revisiting it years later? Like, Waverly's in a different place.
And Dominique's in a different place.
In a different place. So how was that aspect of it?
It served as a really great marker to see the evolution, not only of the character, but also of myself. And, you know, the first time round, there was this hopelessness, this helplessness that Waverly was trying to understand. She was confused by, like, what was real, what wasn't, and, like, her negative self-talk. Whereas this time when we see her, she's like, no, I'm not gonna let her destroy me in the way that she did. Like, I've been here, much like as a representation for mental health, there is a fight that develops over time that I felt in Waverly this time, which was really cool, and especially because of everything she's been through and stuff. It's the way that she approached this character was very, very different to the first time, which was really cool.
That's really cool.
I think Dark Angel Waverly is better than no Waverly to Wynonna, but come on. Waverly's the representation of good, and I think to lose that is just a sense of, like, can anything stay good? Can we have one nice thing, you know? And Wynonna's curse is to be the heir, so it's just not fair to see Waverly have to also carry this burden. And so the fact that Waverly also has this duty to fulfill just sucks. There's no other way to say it.
Waverly? Your journey is over, Wynonna Earp. Mine has just begun.
Great. And cut.